Did you? Hey, there we go. Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve. Almost had a brain fart and forgot to do the intro. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Once we start getting some people into the stream. First and foremost. Whatever, it lets me do it anyways. Hey, Shadow. Hey, G-Fan. Hey, Jason. Really want to click the share button. But I think my laptop might have just crashed. It's always like when we get the bunch of the viewers and then it all of a sudden just gives me like a little fit. Anytime now. Burp. Well, that loaded quick. I was about to say, why is there only one app going? I kind of need them all. Oh, that explains things. My memory is like tanking. Alright, looks like I won't be sharing it right now because we need all the memory space I can get, it appears. Having some issues. Hey, Manila boy. Hey, Dark Figure Pictures. Yeah, you definitely have to save up if you want that one. Like I say, your best bets is generally, I would say, is the 2021 is the one to go with. Yeah, I made it Super Godzilla. It was a hot minute ago, but we made one. Currently sitting on the table, as you guys can see. But he's not mine anymore. He actually, I posted him for sale yesterday because I actually want to eventually redo this. And he was sold, and also my doppelganger here. Oop. I say as he tips over a little bit, but he also sold too, which is cool. Kind of gives me a bit of a buffer for pre-orders. How's about this today? I think I'll show stuff off well before I start getting into painting. I picked up an old Master Grade Gundam kit. It was originally $47.99, but they were doing like half off. So it ended up only being, well, I'd say half off. It was more like 40%, but it was like 30. It was about $30 after tax. And I was like, sure. It kind of solves my itching for a model kit, so I'll probably be doing that sometime. That will actually be a lot easier. Because I do have a plan for me sitting here painting. I could hopefully have it set up where you guys can see what's going on a little bit better. Because I do have an extra screen that I do my my 3D modeling with. Whenever I need to kind of use a pen for the screen, I have a touch screen over there. So I can use that for a screen, and then you guys can kind of see me putting the stuff together a little bit better. But for this, it's just a little easier just to kind of do it this way. Because then I can also see what the heck you guys are saying. Which I could do on that one too. I don't like the recent. I'll be honest, I actually like the spines a little bit better on the newer ones, to be honest. I kind of liked his like chunkiness in the 2014, but I like the spines better in the newer ones. I am super excited that you're excited that you're at $10. Having money is always great. Also, this black is super pokey still from the other day. Okay, so we have him pretty much dry brushed. I mentioned previously I might tone him down, but the way he's currently sitting, then he's had some time to dry, I actually think it looks pretty solid. Might add a little bit of browns, like I mentioned, in certain areas, just kind of make him look like he's been messing around the dirt a bit, sort of like what you see in the old Showa films. Oh, you got the Revoltech Baragon? Sweet. I actually really like that figure. Like, the Revoltech ones are really solid. Granted, the Rodan Mothra, there's not much you can do with, even though they are posable. But the Rodan, Baragon, and Gigan are pretty sweet for sure. Alright, so I think today one of the things I want to focus on is the dorsal spines. Oh, that's just the way the plastic's cut. When I did the dry brushing, the gray, it's kind of, might be hard to see, but right around here, it almost kind of looks like there's a hair in the paint, but it's just the plastic cut. Makes it look a little strange. Yeah, you aren't wrong. It does look like more like pizza. It's actually I have one hanging out here too right now. Which to say, I actually still don't really mind these spines either. Yes, I still actually like this figure. But I know a lot of people were kind of like hit and miss on this one, but I always kind of dig the chonkiness. He looks a little more beefy. Okay. So like I mentioned, I kind of want to do spines. And we're going to kind of do a bit of the detailing work. Which regular gray is definitely not going to be light enough. So I'm going to be mixing some grays and some whites together. And we'll see where that takes us. Yeah, I got the Hayatoy one on pre-order. I was just waiting around for it like everybody else. Because I got mine through Big Bad was the one that was available through at the time. So I hopped on that one. I'll be honest, I don't even know if Entertainment Earth actually has it for pre-order yet. I can't remember. I should know this. I'm a bad affiliate. just get like some Little Caesars and have Godzilla rolling around in it. Oh, snaps. I think I got that. Maybe a little darker. Doesn't look bad. Granted, I need more. Because spines take a lot of paint. I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna wipe some of the excess off on here. See how that goes. My first Godzilla figure, at least the one I remember, was the 85 Imperial. The big 12-inch one, which I still have. Oh, you got the Godzilla 21? What do you think of it? Yeah, to be honest, like, the Godzilla looks solid. And, like, Godzilla's Godzilla, right? Everybody's gonna like Godzilla. I'm more curious about, like you mentioned, the other monsters and see how they turn out. Because I think that's going to be kind of the selling point for that entire line for me. That is way too light still. Come here, Gray. I think I need a big old glob. Yeah, sick. Looks a little bright. Not like bad, but it's definitely on the brighter shade. I also think I kind of want to just dry brush these. Yeah, not too bad. Felt the floor rumble. Hey, as long as it felt good. Zilla Puppet's a good one. How's the channel? Definitely old. I know, heck, I think Geeks like or Super was almost 10 years old. This channel, I want to say, is like 5 or 6. Oh, your first NECA was GMK? Gauss is a cool one to get, though. It's also true on the con. They like he already like he had a little representation to begin with, which I think is the one thing I really love about the new movie is that it just kind of gave us more access to King Kong figures. This spine has me a little scared because it's like right butted up with stuff. Listen, Ozzy Osbourne on the way home. Now it's stuck in my head. And not even like what people would consider good Ozzy, like 2010 Ozzy. I think it's the one thing about doing Godzilla painting that I like doing, but it's also kind of stressful, is doing all these spines. Because it's very monotonous. Going through each one of these and making sure the color looks good on it. Also, I think I just put my thumb into that one. Because I gotta try my best not to really get too much paint on the actual like body, because that's just gonna make cleaning it up a little bit harder later. Yeah, 60 is not too bad for that one. Because I know I kind of lucked out because I got into the Revoltex before they really got popular. So I think the only one I had to spend a decent amount on was Anguirus. And Anguirus I got for 90. Followed by Gigan was like 70. And then the rest of them, I don't think I paid more than 40 a piece for them. Like I want to say like Gauss, Gamera, and Baragon I got for like 30-ish. Ah. I feel like if we had to choose a monster, we'd have to be Gabber, right? It's kind of our trademark. Gabber 98 Godzilla. Because probably the most stressful parts of these spines is doing the inside here. Because I always feel like this is like the part that's like the most easy for me to screw up. And then I gotta go back through, and then I gotta dark gray back to the body, and then do the light gray dry brushing a little bit just in that one spot. Touch it all back up. Plus I'm a little sniffly, and I'm trying not to just be like right in the mic. As for the most part, this paint job's, oh, there we go. Sclub that part a bit. This paint job, process-wise, is very similar to like the Tridemaster Inspire one I did a while back. Because for the most part, I treated the spines relatively the same way. Just doing a dry brushing with the light gray so that some of the detailing of the spines still show up. But you still get the general look. Oh, heck yeah, I'd buy that thing. I think the problem is if SH MonsterArts made a Gabra, like how many of them would I have to buy? Because our Nez would need one. We have to do one for a custom one for the channel. Then I would still need one for myself. Like they would make so much money just off us if they would make a Gabra. How did I just get paint on his leg? That's one thing I always do. I'll accidentally too is I'll be like dry brushing something and realize I got distracted and the brush just hit something. You guys probably saw it. Hey Jay, how's it going? Oh, I think I've seen that same figure, the Dagara. Yeah, there's a dude that like does a bunch of them that they look really good. We've only done a few over here, which I'm still really proud of. Like, I really like the way the Zilla turned out. Same with the Legion. Then I can also appreciate those people a little bit more because having done them, I know how much work they had to put into those, especially for like the ones that look really legit, like that dude's. Because you get some that you'll see with like the super glue, which they'll look fine, but it's not quite as I guess accurate to like the MonsterArts style as someone that adds like the epoxy putty and does all the sculpting. The Griever from Maze Runner. That I would actually have to see. I don't know which one that is. I don't think I've seen that one. Still makes me sad about that leg. I don't want to fix paint. It's like the one thing with detailing I always got to do. It's like no matter how much I think I have this thing done, there's always something I got to fix shortly thereafter. How much time? Kind of depends. Like this guy here, you've literally on stream. Like the only time I worked on this guy's literally been on stream. So we got about 3 hours into him so far ish. 3-ish hours plus whatever we're going to be doing today. Um, I would say the standard Godzilla, depending on like the complexity, I probably got like I usually get about 6 hours. It takes me to like really sit down if I'm like focused, get everything done, paint it all up. Not including sealing. Sealing's usually quick though, but um, so usually there's that. That's why I always find it funny when people are like, sometimes they'll ask how much you charge for painting and doing customizations, and then they ask you how much you charge, and you let them know. They're like, "Wow, that's kind of pricey." I'm like, "Well, yeah, well, 6 hours at minimum wage, $15. Like, it gets kind of expensive." And I don't even usually charge that. Like generally speaking, like this guy here on average would be like $60, $70 I'd probably charge to really sit here and do one of these. So if you're working minimum wage at like a retail shop, you would have saved yourself 2 hours worth of work. Yeah, just answer the one question. It all depends, but like I would say something like this, you'd be looking at like 60, $70 plus shipping for me to sit here and do all this. Then it ranges. Like bigger figures, of course, usually cost more money because they take me more time. If it's the more articulation it has, like the NECA Godzilla, I used to charge a little less because I didn't have to do quite as much with them. But they definitely gone up because like at one point, like doing playmates and stuff, I was only charging like $30 for like repainting skull crawlers and stuff. Which even that's like more like 50 now because how much like some of the stuff costs for me to for paints and sealing now. And it's also kind of like I got a little more of a I got not representation. I got notoriety, I guess. Which I don't want to say is an excuse to charge more. Like I still try to keep it within reason because I know it's like you pay $70 for a figure already. You don't want to be spending like another 100 something dollars to get the thing painted, right? Like you still gotta keep within the realm of reason, but also enough to really merit my time to sit here and do it. Have a good one, Dark Figure. You're good. I don't sell buildings. I could make them for people, but I don't put like on our Etsy and stuff. I don't have them up there. Because to be honest, like how much I'd probably be charging to do buildings, there's other people that um do better ones cheaper. Like Dope Pope Design, I think his buildings like you can get a few of them for like $30, and for me to make them out of foam and stuff, well, it looked pretty solid, and like toy photography would look good. Um, but I'd be charging you like 15-20 bucks per, because foam costs, stuff like that, plus printer ink. So it like most people are better off just getting that. What do I like doing? I enjoy doing this. It's a nice like stress reliever. Like for instance, I've been out all day dealing with my mom's hospital stuff, working, all this other stuff, and then I come home, sit here, talk with you guys, and just casually, just randomly paint. It tends to help. So I like doing this. I like playing video games. Same thing like working on videos for channel. It's one reason I used to like really do the Stevie Toy Rooms back in the days, is because it was just like a good way to kind of be creative, and then I could just have a lot of fun with it too. So always like doing that. She's doing all right. She's having some issues with I don't know if it's nerves or poor circulation, but she's just having like pains in her hands and feet. But she has to find a family doctor because she just got health insurance. So thankfully, the health insurance is gonna back pay, which is great. But we still gotta wait like another week before she can really like go and hunt down a family doctor. So it's just kind of dealing with that currently. Oh, there's some spines on the inside. The other thing with painting these guys too is I always got to look them over quite a few times just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Because especially with spines, talking with you guys, I'm kind of hopping all over. But if I'm here like by myself and just kind of focus, I will generally do one side of the spine, and I'll start from the outside, work my way all the way around, and then I'll flip it over, do the same, and it usually helps me without missing too many spines. But it's definitely more of a do as I say, not as I do currently. Yeah, it's definitely is good and bad. Don't mind me, I had hair in my mouth. Uh, it's definitely better than what it is, but we're not in the range of perfect yet. Ooh, I gotta get out of there, hard piece of paint. Nobody likes you. A little bit of blob to you, a little blob to you, little one to you. Not going too crazy on that part. Little bumpers out here. We got a little bit of lightness too. There we go. All right. Up. Oh, the way the shadow was hitting, it looked like I missed a spine. I'm like, how did I do that? But missing a couple of spines up here. One thing that's always nice too when I get to do the just dry brushing spines is a little bit of paint goes so far on these things. But like I mentioned, I'm gonna have a little bit of cleanup to do. But one thing I want to do with these streams too, because Arnez is the Elgato, and I still want to try to stream a couple times a week, but I don't have Arnez is the Elgato, and I don't get boxes in as much as I was. So I'm trying to find things that we could do craft table wise. So like painting, doing these customs. If I don't have a custom, I'm trying to I'm going to try to stockpile a couple of model kits that we can work on. Because I want to practice on a few of the harder ones, because I have on pre-order a cane from RoboCop 2. And I want to make sure that thing is like banging when I'm done with it. Did I highlight this? No, I didn't. Okay. Because I feel like I didn't touch those ones up when I was doing this. And I didn't. I'm really excited about that kit. More than likely no. And what happened was it was never monetized. We weren't allowed to monetize that channel. And we currently on this channel we have monetization, and it does solid. So we just focus on making sure videos keep up over here instead, to in order to get a little bit of profit, which is nice because it helps kind of keep things going, because a lot of the money that comes from this channel just kind of helps to pay for pre-orders and stuff like that, so we can make sure to have more content for you guys. So for instance, this month's is going to be paying for the MonsterArts whenever it comes in. Because one thing with Super is I wanted to keep it going, but like I said, it's just hard to stay motivated with it. Because I wanted to keep it to be like exclusively for Patreon videos, but we kind of just figure that even if we're going to do it, we can just post them over here. So I keep it active mainly because eventually I might want to do it. Like when the channel was doing really good for a few months, I was thinking about getting it up and going again. Oh yeah, I'll be reviewing it, just like every other MonsterArts. If it's a new release, we'll definitely do it. Because the only thing I usually skip on is special colors if there's not anything that important. Which, speaking of, I don't know if you guys saw that they announced another Shin Godzilla figure. They're doing like a nighttime battle version. Looks pretty sweet. It kind of looks like he has translucent paint. And I wouldn't quote me on it, but it kind of looks like he does, and that one's pretty cool. I don't know if I'll get it, because I never bought the frozen one, and I kind of already have 2 iterations, and I still actually have an extra one hanging around here too that I'm not sure what to do with. Yeah, another one. It'd be the 5th one. 5th one they've done. Just kind of give them the once over. His little bloop up here needs a little more paint. There we go. So here's the dorsal spines. I love Showa style, so we kept the darker grays in the center, and it transitions into the lighter grays towards the back. So now, get the paint off my brush. If you don't have one, it is going to be a great opportunity to get one. Especially if it looks like the prototypes, it'll probably be the best looking base shin. The way they have it set up. Because the one thing I liked about the Awaken is the purple looks really good and the paint job's phenomenal. Original one, I like the sculpt, but the paint job could have been a little bit better. But the new one is like way more saturated black, and then with the reds that you see, almost kind of look metallic or translucent. I'm pretty pumped for it. Yeah, it's pretty similar. Because the hard thing is the goal is to make him look like a 68. Problem is, almost every Showa Godzilla looks the exact freaking same. It's just charcoal grays Lighter gray spines. And like I mentioned, I can kind of dumb down the coloring a little bit just to make him. Because I did that, I think we're going to try to maybe kick it down just a little bit more. Because it would also help to make these spines pop a little bit more, too. Hey, what up, 64? So I think we'll do that. Because I got a little bit of gray left. We'll just add some black to it. Mix it up. Oh, it's way too much black. Is this the one I was using? Ah, there we go. On a high note, we got some white. We can lighten this up. So, for instance, that looks really light. So let's add some more black. Like I say, all I really do is just sit here and mix colors so I get something that looks appropriate. That looks like what it was originally, so we're going to add some more black. A little more black. A little more black. I think my goal with this is it looks a couple of shades. Like when it looks a shade, like this looks accurate. Make it darker. Yeah, there's another Shin Godzilla MonsterArts coming out. He's showing up on Facebook right now. He's not officially announced. I think the official announcement's more towards. I will say it's actually in a few days. Get bunches off. Well, I guess first and foremost, I probably should try to see if I can kick down this area that I got all the stuff in. Yeah, buddy. Bam! Already solved. That looks pretty good. A little bit more over the legs, because the thigh there looks really dark. Haha, you're right. Got to turn it back on after I did the thing. Appreciate it, man. But anyways, the Shin Godzilla is called the Nighttime Luminescence Battle version, so I'm sure it's popped up on Twitter, Facebook, stuff like that already. Yeah, this is helping a lot. Okay, this is helping with the brightness issue. Cool. Looks kind of better when I have it at this angle. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. There's not any more blue in this mouth hanging around. Looks like we hit that pretty well. I'm just going to kick this out with the hairdryer a little bit, just try to keep the tackiness off. Yeah, I think we're friends on Facebook because I think I remember seeing the Baragon pop up on there. So yeah, I'd love to see pictures of it later. So we got a little bit of brighter gray in a few sections in here. I'm gonna have to use a lighter brush, or not lighter, smaller brush for that. You look good. At least I hope. Oh, this might be a dead brush. Do I have some thinner laying around? I thought I did. Might have used it all though. Will this work? Grab the skull and crossbone one. Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say I know it took me it took me a second to realize it, but I remember from the stream you mentioning the Baragon that I seen. I was like, hey, somebody on my friends list is making a Baragon. What a coincidence! Yeah. I was gonna say I remember the cryptid stuff. Yeah, I'd say it looked cool. I was like, it looked like I would love to do some more kits. Sadly, I don't get sent those very often. Even though they're so I love one of the things is I don't mind customizing. Like I find enjoyment in it, but I love just sitting and painting. And that's the nice thing about kits is like once you glue it all together, it's like fillings with seams, and then you just get to go to town on it. Ew, maybe that's just the shade of bright it's gonna stay because it's not really kicking down. Oh, you know what? It looks light because the light reflecting on it. That's like it's a little bit more saturated there than some of the areas. So it's not that it's bright, it's just it has too much gray. What, buddy? Well, I hear you can't get on the boxes. He's like, but I love the boxes. They are my friends. A little bit there. Kick this spot down a little bit. You know, I'll be honest. On a high note, I think it was just that one spot's the only real area that I see. Like I hit with a little too much. Oh, there's one. A little too heavy with the dry brush in there. Oh yeah, it was one. Oh, was it? It was a vinyl kit. I was just hi. What's up, buddy? There's no. There's paint. No. Yeah. You. He's like, hello. Well, there's paint there. You're gonna get your black paint all over your panties. This is also one thing that makes doing customs hard. Is a cat that really likes attention. Hey, everybody thinks you're cute, bud. It's a little servo. You know, you can vote for butt. Well, I know how that goes, because I haven't had a kit that old. I think the oldest one was those oh, the Xenomorph ones I did. The name's slipping my mind of the company, but I want to say they were like late 90s, early 2000s. I think those are the oldest vinyl kits I've done, because I've done a couple of Kotobukiya kits for Godzillas for a couple people. But even those I think are like 2010s ish era. Alright. Pretty pleased with these spines overall. Do I want to tackle the face today? I kind of want to do the eyes just for giggles. But I don't see my paint around here that I do with the do for the eyes. Because the one funny thing with the eyes is I actually don't use the better paints. I actually like using the apple barrels because the glossy black, like the gloss colors, are really good. Just getting, especially on these tiny eyes, one go and it gets really good even coverage. I don't know why. I just like with doing the action figures, it's the easiest thing. Yeah, the Xeno kits were well. The chest burster was a pain in the butt. The Xeno, the chest, well, not chest, the Queen chest burster. I should reiterate, it was a pain in the butt to do. The regular chest burster, the only reason that one got difficult is it was one of my first times doing vinyl, and I used the wrong clear coat on it, so it tacked up really bad. I had to wipe it all off and redo the paint job again. So that's what made that one a little more difficult. The Queen already had experience, so the Queen, what made her hard was just um, where they had the cuts in the mold were really crappy. So it ended up when I was trying to glue it together, it was just like a hodgepodge mess, and I had to do so much epoxy puttying to cover up things. You'll see me come back in a sec. I need some glossy white, and I don't know where I put it. Oh, there's black. That's good in summer. Do I have more glossy white? That's also a good question. There's a regular white. I might do it. That white. Metallic white. Alright, guess we're just gonna roll with basic white, which will do alright as long as it's good. Yeah, because it was like I said, I was following the cut lines that were on the kit, and then when trying to assemble, I'm like, this knee has like two little tiny points of contact on here, and the rest of it's just like an empty gap, and it was so annoying. So I had to like cut it and then try to make the sculpting kind of work. And thank God I'm alright at painting, because painting hides a lot of crimes. Yeah, it was like the 24th. Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to get him, but I know he's getting announced. But usually they go for pre-order pretty shortly thereafter. So, like I mentioned, I like using the apple barrels for the eyes. I think a lot of it too is the apple barrels have a lot of water in them, so which makes for really bad coverage. But for some odd reason, eyeballs are great. Like I tried to use my that'll work. Like the liquid text and stuff to do eyes, and it just frustrates the crap out of me. Because if you don't get that eyeball like perfect on the first try, you're better off just cleaning the eye entirely off and redoing it. Yep, we're making progress. Also, this brush is no good. I had another pointy one hanging out in here. in my vat of water here. At least I thought. I'm not seeing a good pointy one. Got a good one for teeth though, so I'll set that aside. Guess I'll bust out another brush. Got this little guy right here is good for these eyes because they are tiny as all balls. The stick nodes demon? What's that from? Hey, Godzilla boy. Alright, so I'm gonna add a little bit of white. This is sadly the part like I can't really show off very well on camera right now. I was gonna try to get this in here. I can clean it up after, so it's not a big deal if it's not perfect. But the eye, I just want to make sure it has good coverage. And then I will clean it up shortly thereafter. That looks pretty good. So right now you'll kind of see, hopefully with the eyes. How whoa, big and white they are right now. I'm going to go back through, I'll clean that up, and then I'll try to add the black to it. Because that'll help me distinguish this a little bit better. Which I still have a mix of my dark gray and black here, so that'll be good to clean up with. Actually got a little too much on the brush, so we're just going to get a little off. I say I have too much on the brush, but then I barely got any on here. One thing I got too that kind of helps with this is I actually have these little magnifying glasses that I could put on to see, which sometimes helps. Especially if I'm having a really off day and my eyes are super sore. Oh, jack this eye up. I have a good one. Let's try adding a little bit of white again. Almost had it, but then I think I peeked the mic there. My apologies. Didn't mean to do that. All right, let's try to clean up the eye again, but not this time not go on the eye. All right. Side looks pretty solid. Do the same for this one. It's also a strenuous part because it's like move the brush ever so slightly closer and closer to the eyeball. And I get frustrated because there's not enough paint on the brush because getting closer to the eyeball made the paint come off. Woo! All right. So a little bit right there. So close. So close. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good. I think. Oh, there's a little bit of white right there. So strenuous. All right. That's so hard to see. Hold on. I was joking about using the glasses earlier. I think I'm actually going to grab them. Because I used to have this giant magnifying glass that would hang on the table. Oh, I got this dude. I think that would be good. I'll be honest, I haven't used these much. Also probably help if I put them in the right way. But it's like... right there? Yeah, I got a little bit of gray. I would say it's not the easiest thing still. I don't know. I think that's close enough. It's like maybe a little too white. Whoever sculpted this, why did you make a one little part in it by his eye? Where it's got like a little cup. And it's so hard to get paint in there. Outside of the original white that I had. Alright, I think we're golden. The eyes look a little bit more portion now. Oh, my eyeballs. Still hard to see. Probably should look up 68 eyeballs. Probably be a good idea. Let's maybe turn out the light. Yeah, I've seen him. Godzilla 1968. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's just a black dot. I could be wrong. Huh. You know, it's not easy to find a good shot of just the head. Oh, that might be it, though. Oh, there we go. It's got some browns. Okay. Somewhere in this little spinner, we got some burnt umber. That would probably be good. So I guess we're going to do a little bit of black and then try to get some burnt umber on there. Like that. Use some of this excess paint just to kind of tip the brush a little bit. And then the smallest dollop of brown. All right. If I can pin it. Rolled out of black again. This one I like. It looks pretty solid. The other one, he's kind of looks like he's got a little bit of like a downward angle going on. That one I might have to fix. So I'll probably touch that eyeball up, but I think we're gonna do that probably maybe tomorrow. We might continue this more of this tomorrow too as well. Oh yeah, I seen that Angel Woman. That thing looks cool. I kind of like it. Digimon was one of those things I was gonna collect it, and then I ended up not collecting it. Because I remember like they started doing those like transforming ones, which I thought were really sweet, and then they ended up not doing like really doing much else with that line. while you guys are here, I'm gonna. Just fix it now. Oh, that's way too much brown. A little double black again. It's always like with this guy, one eyeball is way harder to do than the other for some odd reason. Like this eye just kind of looks like it's squinting all the time. Yeah, I guess I'll have to mess around with it a little bit later. Also, I think it's just because I've been up for like 16 hours now, and I'm just kind of like, Yeah, because they've done a few. There's also those the Bandai American ones. They're starting to do Digimon stuff too. There's like War Greymon. I think 2 others, if I'm not mistaken. It's 1 or 2 more. This is the 3rd one. Or if we work more on them tomorrow, it's going to be like the mouth, the claws. And then maybe just like a little bit more highlighting the gray on the chest. Yeah, because that one eye turned out like really, really good. This one I'm having kind of a bit of a problem with, but it's like the eyes aren't as open on the one side. Like he's got more of like a kind of look to him. I guess that's fine. Yeah, that's probably the way it's going to have to be. It's one of those like it's such a tiny eyeball that's so hard to really get like any real intricate detailing on it. Especially with the color scheme, because it's like dark colors, dark colors, and dark colors. So the white definitely helps a bit to make them stand out. So yeah, so we'll do the teeth, we'll do the mouth, and do claws tomorrow, and then finish highlighting, and then you'll be pretty much done after that, outside of just clear coating. But really happy with the way it is right now. I think we just gotta brighten up the tum-tums a little more here. It stands out. I don't even know if I really need to, because it's like, because I got so, like, the problem here is I have so many LEDs hanging out here that it kind of throws off the coloring because everything just looks brighter here. So a lot of the time I'll paint something and I'll just turn around in my normal lighting and kind of look at it. And this gives me a better sense of how most people are going to see this inside their house. Like, in your display cabinet, it's going to look more like this than the way it is hanging out here. And here, I'm digging it. That looks pretty sweet. Even the lighter chest looks pretty good. He's looking straight, which is a positive. It's mainly what I go for when I'm doing eyeballs. As long as they're, when you're looking at him, he's looking at you, you've done something good. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. So help, well, stream anyways. I don't know, I always say video. Anyways, help us defeat those kaijus by hitting the like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, Pinterest, Facebook. Guys, like people today with channel to donate. We greatly appreciate it. We also got a link in the description for Entertainment Earth. If you guys like to help support the channel and get yourselves some sweet collectibles, link down there. They also do free shipping over 40 if you use their code. which I really like using them. I'm waiting, like, I am so pumped for my 209 that's coming from them. And then, and I'm paying for it. But I'll see you guys